All right, everybody. Happy Wednesday, hump day. We're going into the weekend. How many of you feel, I, I'll be honest, I probably had too much coffee this morning. I'm feeling a little mischievous. Okay, so it's a good thing that you guys are on the Zoom and not in person with me because, well, I don't know. I'm in an aggravating mood this morning. Reminds me of my 14-year-old self when I would be in the principal's office by the end of the day. Brenda Carlton. So, all right, I would get in trouble in the wood shop today. But Larry would be he wouldn't be happy with me. But all right, we're going to get this day started. And for all you coffee drinkers out there that put a one in the comment, I'm feeling you this morning. Happy Wednesday. For all you closet coffee drinkers, so I'll share with you what that means. Okay. When I first met Andrea Rosser, she told me she was vegan. But as
Okay,
we,
coach.
okay, we can't go there.
Just don't pick on Andrea. It was literally in the comments, but here we go. Go for it, coach.
But she was not a great vegan. Okay. So I call that when you say you're something, but then kind of you're in the closet, you're eating the steak, right? And sometimes I hear people say, I stay away from caffeine. And then I see them over there and I'm like, you're having a latte. Okay. You're having a latte. So, all right, enough of that. The word for today on this Wednesday is witty. Okay. Now, we were going with that for next week. We were going to put a W with Wednesday, but one of my favorite humans in the world sent me this yesterday. Miss Arlene Hutchinson. Arlene. So she says, let's talk about witty Wednesday. So the definition of witty is just showing or characterized by like being quick, being having some verbal humor. How many of you would characterize yourself as maybe being too serious? I'm actually a pretty serious human, but I can have a little fun and sometimes, Andrea calls it mean fun. She's like, you like the mean humor. So anyway, I I do like humor. And I do like people that are witty. People that are clever. Like, I think about, I don't know how many of you know Ken and Dale Snyder. Like, Dale is like, I've had so much fun with them over the years because they have some wittiness about them. Like, they got some humor about them. Like, they taught us all these sign languages, to do network marketing and we laughed about it and cut up about it. And then I think about Coach Greg Bibb that comes on the coach's corner. Like if you're ever around him, he's got some clever and some wittiness to him. So why is it important to be witty, right? To have some humor, to not be so serious all the time. Because you might have got on here this morning and is like, what are they talking about? Coffee, closet coffee drinkers, like, is this really needed? But sometimes it's needed to just laugh and go, well, that was weird, but funny. So why is it important? It's not just about cracking jokes. It's not just about being funny. It's about having that sharp, that mind that see things that other people might miss. Okay? And here's why it's important. In situations, it could diffuse tension, especially in business. When business gets too serious, sometimes you just got to laugh at each other and have some moments where it diffuses the situation, right? Have you ever been in an intense conversation and you're like, wow, this is going to be fun? And you tell the group, you actually let it go out loud, and it just almost people stop and laugh, or before you go, before you go into the meeting, you're like, okay, I want everybody to know that we love each other. and everybody kind of laughs and it just diffuses the situation. So I believe that in business and leadership, being witty, it's a superpower. Like it keeps communication engaging, right? So last week we did this road show all week, and Sheila Balkowski, if you know Sheila, I love Sheila. She's up in front of the room, and Sheila is cracking a little small humor in front of the room, and it kept me engaged. It kept me, her wittiness kept me engaged, like it just making little subtle, having a joke here, having something small to say. It just keeps it engaging. Um, and it also helps. This is a known fact. When you put a little story behind it, when you make it a little fun, when you're witty, it actually is more memorable to the people listening. You ever thought about that? Think about the people that you like listening to. If they, it's not just the same old, same old. They actually have some little twists and turns and they've got some wittiness to what they have to say. And you're like, this is kind of engaging, right? So it's the only reason I aggravate Andrea, just so you know. It's just to keep it engaging. Okay. All right. So, Andrea, I'm going to turn it to you. I'm a little scared now because I feel like I came at you with the little vegan comment. I was kidding. I was
I
kidding.
think that you should be a little scared. I think so because we're gonna come up with okay now. So I'm gonna give you guys a backstory. So I was a good vegan for 7 years of my life, a good vegan, and then I was a mediocre vegetarian for about 10 years, and then I was a bad vegetarian for a couple years. And not because my heart was in the wrong place, but because my tummy was. So now
Yeah.
I don't proclaim anything.
Well,
Now I'm just an eater.
just so everybody knows, Starlin Jones in the South, we don't know what vegetarian or vegan is.
Well, we can
That's
do
right.
that lesson. We can save that lesson for another day, okay?
Okay. All right. I'll
But
let
it
you
just is
go.
the degree of strictness. So, how miserable do you want to be? You just decide, and then you just kind of get more and more strict. No, just kidding to all of my beautiful vegan friends out there. Okay, so William Hazlitt, he is known for saying wit is the salt of conversation, but not the food. And I love that. Because you ever in a conversation with somebody and it's all wit? Like there's no depth. Like everything is just these like quick little, maybe jabs, coach, or funnies, whatever it may be. And you're like, well, I laughed a little bit in this conversation, but I walked away going, well, I didn't know that person any better, right? But then you'll have that conversation with a person and we did actually see this in Mississippi in two spaces. So I think Lee Moss was very, very witty. I think Keela was very, very witty. So this is three, and Sheila. So three spaces. We saw this cute, fun wit that they just put in there and it spiced up the conversation, right? They added a little bit of that salt to it. So what I looked into was as a person that I really want to be witty. I love humor. I want to be funny. I actually think I'm pretty funny, but when I'm the only one laughing, I realize that maybe that's not the case. So, how can we be just a little bit more witty? How can we add more wit? Stop it, coach. Add more wit to our life. So, first of all, how can I be witty in a conversation? I've got to be present. If I am not paying attention to what's coming out of your mouth and truly listening to what's happening, well, I'm not going to catch those small details that somebody else may overlook that can allow me to bring in a little bit of that clever wit. Two, with wit. And this is very important to everybody listening, Coach Palmer. Um, Keep it kind, right? Keep it
I'm sorry.
kind.
Joe's got cows going through his screen. Okay. He's giving you some beef. Joe, could you give Andrea some beef? Y'all look at
I
Joe right here. Type in
can't see
Joe.
it. I can't
Hold on.
find him.
This is super important today on this Hump Day Wednesday for everybody.
Where
Joe,
I
you got
want
it
to
from Canada? Oh, look at all this. He's giving you some beef headed your way.
I can't see it. I can't
Okay, it's
find it.
okay. But it was really good. It was good.
Okay,
So,
good. So keep it kind. The best wit uplifts, it doesn't undercut, right? Aim for clever, never cutting. I will say I call this boy humor. No offense to all the men on here, but I feel like men, when they like joke with each other, they kind of are harsh in my opinion. So as a lady, I don't want that. I want you to make me laugh. Don't hurt my feelings. So the best kind of wit is going to make us feel a little bit better, giggling, moving to the next level, not going, oh, look at, okay, Eric, that's a cute little cow right there. Very clever. That was witty. Next is to read and listen widely. So a curious mind fuels that witty tongue. So the more input we have, the more educated we are in like real life and all of those spaces, then the faster we're going to think and have things to play on to have it come out of our mouth. Next is to play with our words. So puns, metaphors, and unexpected twists make that conversation sparkle. And you know it. You know when you've been there in the presence of that, when you're like, wait a minute, that was cute. Like that was funny. And you kind of can walk away. I tend to be, oh, I like, is that a dinosaur or a turtle, Pat? I think it's a turtle. I like being, or I don't like, but I tend to be a little bit behind, right? So then I'm walking away giggling, going, oh my gosh, that's what they said right there. But that's okay. It doesn't matter if it's in the moment or a little bit later. And then lastly, to truly be witty, we want to use it with purpose. Wit is the most powerful when we use it to connect people or when it makes a little moment of truth land a little bit more gracefully. So, Coach talked about it, right? You're in a hard conversation, you're in like maybe a deep moment. And if you can sprinkle in just a little bit of humor, a little bit of wit right then and there, doesn't it kind of ease the tension in that space? And we can be a little bit more truthful in that moment without causing harm to that relationship. So I like this one. Great word, Coach. Thank you,
This-
Arlene, for the
It,
Witty Wednesday motivation.
it was a great word, and it's a great start to Wednesday because sometimes we need a little humor, we need a little wittiness in our day. So, my challenge to everybody today, find somebody and add a little wittiness into that conversation today. Okay. So if you're at work, find the opportunity. If you're at home, make a phone call. Like, let's add a little wittiness today, make somebody's day better because we showed up in it. Love you guys. Have a great Wednesday.
Love you guys. Have a beautiful day.
Thank you, Brandon. Very good
Yeah,
one.
love you
Bye.
too.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.